Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome.
How about yourself?
I'm good. Just give me a minute to continue sending invites, okay?
No
Thanks.
worries. No worries.
Good morning and welcome to day 4 of our third annual WSOP Daily Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka Peaches. I'll be your host, and joining me this morning thus far as co-hosts are Asimov and Rick. Good morning, guys.
Good
Good
morning,
morning. Good
young
morning.
lady.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing, Isaac?
We
How's
get
it going,
ready
Rick? Good
to start
morning.
this. Let's get the party started. Many thanks to Elevator Results, who's been sponsoring me for a couple of years now in my spaces. I appreciate them. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter or check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. Just an FYI, you can find the recordings of my past spaces, including our a daily WSOP coverage and the daily WPT coverage on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It's free of charge, people. Don't forget our 5th annual space, not annual. Why do I keep wanting to say annual? Our 5th official Spaces Meetup game is June 21st at the Bellagio Poker Room at 1 p.m. It's a 1-3 no limit cash game, although if your table decides to change what you're playing, that's fine, no problem. Many thanks to Sean McCormick and, of course, the entire crew at the Bellagio for having us and providing free pizza as well. We will have Splash the Pot items as it draws closer. We'll go over what those items are, but we got some pretty cool stuff this far. If you'd like to donate a Splash the Pot item or items, just let me know and we'll figure it out. Thank you. Also, please be reminded that we will always try to give you the most updated and accurate information possible, but we are human and information is always fluid in the poker world. So please make sure you double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. And please correct us if you find that we've given out some incorrect information. We don't mind at all. Reminder that John Sunuto's Celebration of Life is June 15th at 11 a.m. at the Tap House located at 5589 West Charleston Boulevard. Don't forget you have to RSVP for that event, and I will continue to post the flyer for that every so often so you can get the phone number off of there. If you can't find it, just DM me and I'll make sure you get that phone number. Ladies Week is going to be June 22nd through June 28th, just as a reminder. And I also want to let everybody know that I'm not going to do my normal Friday night space since I've been putting in so many hours with this daily space. So I'm going to take tonight off. So no space tonight, which is normally my interview space. I'm taking that off tonight and just going to enjoy my family. Anybody else have any announcements before we get into some of this nitty gritty stuff?
Sure. Since you know what, we're doing poker and bullshit tonight. If anybody's fiending for a space, we usually start at about 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. PST. We're gonna be hosting GVG one shot. I think tonight is our Web 3. One of our last qualifiers for that. And yeah, so if y'all ain't doing nothing, want to come talk some poker, hang out, bullshit, or just lurk in the shadows, by all means, pull up, pull up.
definitely pull up. There's always fun to be had in those Green Visor Gang spaces for sure. You guys know I hang out in them as well. So thank you for reminding us. Excuse me. Welcome, Brad. I see you down there. I think you may be working, but if you can join us, that we would love it. If not, it is perfectly understandable. Um, let me see. Let me send a reminder to ASG. He's working, but with the time difference, sometimes we all get screwed up. So I'm just going to send him a little reminder that we're going right now, just in case he's gotten busy and has forgotten. Um, I want to remind everybody the Chess Festival is June 6th through June 8th. You can go to their website to get all the nitty gritty details. And they have all kinds of stuff, classes, and of course you can play chess there, kids, adults, it doesn't matter. Karen's husband is going to be doing some seminars, so if you're a chess player, you definitely don't want to miss that chess festival, June 6th through June 8th. I want to kind of get back and circle back to the poker.org saga I was going through. For those of you that are following it, I was having a hard time getting logged into my account so I can go make a fantasy team, because they are doing an amazing thing for the community. They're offering a 10K seat as a prize to the winner of their fantasy league, and it was free of charge. It's a free roll. And so I tried to log into my account to no avail. I um, sent in a request for a code to change my password twice. I got no response. I tweeted about it, got no response. I sent them a message via their website, no response. I sent them a message via Facebook, no response. And then somebody replied to my tweet, and it wasn't one of their employees or associates, but just another poker player, telling me that I should just recreate a new account using my same email address, which I did, and it worked. So, yay, right? So, I was all excited. I turned in my fantasy league submission. And then yesterday, I don't even know what time, sometime yesterday, I got an email saying, "We've reset your password to this," and they gave me a code to put in. And I was like, no, I just got it straightened out, right? So I haven't done anything yet. And then I got a message on Twitter after that, like yesterday, I don't know, early evening maybe, from somebody, and they apologized that they had not responded and said, if you still need help, we'll help you. And quite honestly, I replied, I had it straightened out, but now you guys have reset it to a new password. And honestly, I just haven't had a chance to go in and see if that's helped or screwed it back up. But hopefully I'll just go in there, put in that password that they've now provided for me, and we'll still be copacetic. But just when you thought the saga was over, it continues on. But as long as my team has been submitted, we're good, right?
Should be. Should
ASG.
be.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I literally laughed out loud when I opened that email, and I was like, no, it was perfect. Now we've probably back to square one. But anyway, computers and IT are awesome until they don't work, and then we want to throw them out with the bathwater, so to speak. No offense, bathwater. Oh, he left.
Yeah, bathwater's gone. But you are right, though. I can't
Oh,
even tell you how many times I chuck my phone in a day.
Exactly. Hey,
speaking
ASG,
of which, yeah, he left, so maybe I should save that. But did you see that latest story yesterday?
which one?
About bathwater.
No.
Uh, I'll I'll tell you about that later. Then but yeah.
Spill the
Hold
beans,
on, hold on, hold on.
ASG.
Did we dox bathwater? I don't want to miss this.
Are we talking about our bathwater or just bathwater in general?
Bathwater in general.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure this is going to be a good one. You don't want to spill the beans? You want me to spill the beans? Okay.
Well, no, I wanted Bathwater to be here, but
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
That's fine. Just hold off then.
Okay.
Hold off, and next time you see them, they're
Oh
in
no, wait,
there. They're in there.
Okay, so yeah,
Tune in, Bathwater.
Yeah, latest news that dropped was available June 6th. They're dropping Sidney Sweeney's Bathwater.
I don't even know who Sidney
Yo,
Swinney
I
is.
saw that on X and I did not believe that. I thought they were trolling. If that is real, wow, Bathwater, you need to sue
I'm pretty
somebody.
sure that's real as a limited edition for sale thing. Yeah.
Fucking crazy, yo. Crazy.
Bathwater, if you want to come up and tell us the details on that, you can. Oh my God, I love my life sometimes. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't even know who Sidney Swinney is. I'm going to have to look her up. I'm assuming it's a female. Yes, yes,
She's
yes.
like a pop star singer type person
Oh,
right now that's really popular because she's
okay.
a little raunchy.
Okay, got it. All right. Now we're updated on the soon to be released Bathwater of Sidney Swinney. If you're interested, it is released for limited time beginning on June the 6th. You can get all kind of information on our shows. And it's going to get a little raunchy maybe later. So make sure you come to us with your most favorite strip club, chapels, churches, and synagogues in Vegas, because we'll be getting to that shortly. Okay, ASG updated us via our chat about a tweet that Matt Savage put out because, of course, I'm on a different time zone now. So it's only 9 o'clock here. And when ASG is up and ready and on the road, so to speak, I'm still sleeping. So I appreciate his little DMs in the morning with some up to date topics and topics for us to talk about. And one of those is a tweet that Matt Savage put out, which I'm going to read, and I want everybody to, I want your comments on it, what you think about it. Of course, this is in line with a couple of months ago. Maurice Hawkins was down to a final three table, and the dealer made an error and shoved the pot to him when it should have went to somebody else, and it sparked a whole discussion about reporters um, stepping in if they see a mistake being made as far as the order, the play at the table, if there's a mistake that they should notify the dealer or not. So here is the tweet that Matt put out. It said, the longtime WPT and WPT Live updates reporter BJ Nemeth just called out a dealer error payout for 3 million chips discrepancy, proving once again why he's at the top of the industry in his field. Well done, BJ. Thank you for doing the right thing. So I want everybody to give me your opinion. Should they be involved? Shouldn't they? What, should they speak up? Should they not? Go ahead, ASG.
In my opinion, they should speak up. Obviously, the dealer and the floor should be the one confirming whether or not they are correct, whether or not there's a discrepancy. Like, the dealer shouldn't be the one saying, hey, you need to do this. It's more like they should be just the same as any other spectator player. Point it out and let the dealer or floor make the correction if they are right in what they're pointing out.
Fair enough. Rick, what do you think? You've been a TD for many years.
Yeah, it's in all the manuals that I've ever written in for poker rooms. It's the number one rule is you want the best hand to receive the pot, and that's all. That's why it's number one. So if there is a discrepancy, yes, it should be called out, especially in tournaments of this nature. When you have so much on the line and a pot like that, 3 million, come on, that's so I
Yep.
applaud anyone who does that type of thing. That's it should be. It should.
Right on.
Well, considering it was a 3 million, he said 3 million chip discrepancy. I'm assuming
The pot
that
was
this was
bigger.
an all-in situation where the count was wrong or something like that.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Isaac, what do you think?
I say shoot them all and let Alan Kessler decide.
Well, I really am about first, there's a couple of things that come to mind, right? I always want to see things done right or correct. And also, if it were me, wouldn't I want somebody to speak up if it were me that it was costing me 3 million in chips and it shouldn't have? Yeah, I do want somebody to speak up. Even if it's against me, I want somebody to speak up. I want it done right. To me, it's more important that it's correct than who's calling out the error. And of course, we spoke about it in the past. If you're calling out that, if you happen to be a reporter calling out an error, it doesn't have to be, hey, dealer, you made a mistake, blah, 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 blah. No, it could just be a leaning into the dealer saying, hey, I think there's a mistake there. Uh, you may want to double check, and he doesn't need or she doesn't even have to alert the whole table. Just alerting the dealer, in my opinion, is a way to go about it. But for me, it's just like, let's make sure we get it done right. So that's where I'm at. Anybody else have any more comments about that?
Absolutely, because no one feels worse than the dealer about making a mistake like that. And especially if it's resolved, it really helps.
Right.
It really helps.
Right. And we've all been on either end of that, right? When an error's been caught, you've lost because of it or you've won because of it. But either way, to me, it evens out in the end, right? If we're
Right.
all trying to do the right thing and we're all trying to make sure that the chips are in it correctly and out of it correctly, I don't think we can ever go wrong. Go ahead, Brad.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, bud.
So I agree with ASG on this. Like I would take issue like with uh a reporter or even another player at the table if like they just start like grabbing the chips and fixing it themselves. But like I have no problem with anybody like saying, "Hey, I don't think that's right." Even if somebody walked by the table, honestly, I think that's fine. But it's the onus on the floor and the dealer to actually get it corrected.
Yeah, I think the floor should be called in an instance like that. So it takes the onus off the dealer and that things can get worked out correctly because that's their job. That's the
Right.
floor's job. So
And it definitely takes the fire out of it takes the fuel out of the fire and neutralize everything if that TD is brought in, um, for sure. I mean, we can all agree on that for
yep.
sure. Anybody else have any more comments on that topic?
I think even when we brought it up, we all kind of agreed it was actually the reporters who were trying to say, oh, we're just supposed to be a fly on the wall, and if things happen wrong, then we're just supposed to report on it and not do anything about it. And even back then, I said, well, you're not even like, I don't want to say you're not a reporter, but like you're working for the operator. They're the ones paying you. And when there was a panel discussion with Matt Savage and a couple of these reporters, Matt even said that if they brought up this before, that if they reported that there was a wrong calculation, that the operator would tell them to not report that. So yeah, like it's all a mess if you just let it happen if you know that it's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And, we worry about the integrity of the game. I mean, come on. We all want it to be done right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of that part of it. I was a little unsavory for me personally. I try to think of like if I was that person in the spot, I was the one with the pen and paper writing things down, and I wrote it down just to narrate the story that not that what actually happened. I have a problem with that. I think, I don't know. I think if I'm in the story and I'm writing it, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm gonna be like, hey man, homeboy shouldn't have won this pot, or
And see, the problem with that, um, Brad, is the operators are actually paying the reporters to be there to report. And so the reporters actually put in a pickle, if you think about it. Because if they are trying to do, in my eyes, it should always be truth in reporting, no matter if that makes somebody look good or somebody look bad. It is the
Exactly.
truth of the matter, and that's what you should be reporting. The caveat here is they're worried for their job if they report it truthfully, because you have someone who, you guys know I love and adore, Matt Savage, that said out loud what a lot of people have suspected, and that is the operators can and will kibosh a story if they don't like it. And so it's not really fair, because that puts that reporter in the middle, and it's their bread and butter, and they're worried about their jobs, right? And so it's really a slippery slope. But I also believe that if a reporter takes a stance, that they're still going to have a job. So, but that's just, where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. And for what it's worth, let's go down that road. I mean, let's say X person reports a hand unsavory way that the operator doesn't want them to report it. They fire them. I think that operator is going to take a lot of backlash personally. Not alone, let alone from the hand that didn't get played out right, but for now, firing an employee for reporting what happened. I don't know. I don't. For me, if that's my last article I write, if I was the one who wrote it, that I'm actually okay with that personally. I'd be more okay with that personally than not telling the poker world what actually happened at this table.
And I totally agree with what you're saying, but you have to remember that if, say it's a single mom who has two kids, and she get fired right now? Probably not. Probably not. Somebody like me that's a little more settled in my life, that, hey, like, you're going to fire me, go ahead. Like, I have my life. This is secondary, right? So, I think that it's an individual case, of course, but I don't like the fact that the reporters are put in that position to begin with. And unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast of poker, because we just don't have the sponsorship for our media folks. Like, we don't have the outside sponsorships, so they can be totally neutral and unbiased and not be dictated to as far as what stories they're running and not running. If they had outside sponsors, they would not be victims, so to speak. And I use that word very loosely, to, the powers that be, because their paychecks depend on it. So the poker media is a little different in the fact that they are not getting sponsored by outside sponsors. They're actually being paid and sponsored by the operators. And so it's a dynamic that's really doesn't lead to truth in reporting, quite honestly. And I hate to say that, but it really doesn't. Hey, Kelly, welcome.
Hey, how are you? How are you?
Good. How are you this morning?
Good, thank you. Um, I'm just thinking, putting myself in the same situation. I mean, as a mother and as a single mother, I would not take that position, that job. That if I had to depend on whether I told the truth or not, whether I got a paycheck. It's 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 your integrity. So then
I
don't accept
totally
that
agree.
position. You
Kelly,
know what I
I
mean? Do something
totally
else.
agree. I totally agree. But when you are in the poker world and you're trying to build a resume, right? Sometimes you take these jobs and may not, you may be naive enough to not even realize the whole scope until you're knee deep in it, right? And so I just think that it's, for me, it's about who's paying who's paying the paycheck, right?
It's politics. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. It's more
Yep.
politics
Yeah.
than
Right.
reporting.
Right. And it's unfortunate, but it's the nature of the beast that I hope at some point we can change and just get outside sponsors for the media. That would solve a lot of problems. It would take the pressure off of them, because I also feel like at times when I listen to some of the reporters doing like a live video reporting, to me, sometimes they're holding back, and I'm like, wait, why don't they go a little deeper into that? Are they, are they being hushed on that subject a little bit? I mean, I've even noticed that myself. And it may not be true. It may be just something that I wish they would ask more questions and they don't. So I'm not trying to say that it is this way or not, but it seems that way sometimes.
I would say your vibe is right. That's why I mean, like you're so important. Like what you're doing is important. You
Well,
get out
thank
there and
you.
you let everybody speak. You let everybody have their voice. All kinds of wonderful people, and just random people like me. I mean, it's
Well, thank
awesome
you,
for you to
Kelly.
do that. The
I
truth gets out
appreciate
there like that, and I appreciate you very much. So much.
Well, I
Thank you.
appreciate you and your kind words, Kelly. And you're always welcome, my friend, for sure. Another member of the Green Visor Gang. We love you.
Love you. Thank you. Have fun.
Thank you. ASG, go ahead.
Yeah, and also I just want to say, like, when you testify in court, they say it's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I was just bringing that up because, like, even when the reporters, when something comes up, if whatever, they don't lie. They just don't tell the full story. I guess is what I would say.
Right.
So, like, you would just say, "Oh, this pot was awarded." You wouldn't bring up the mistake, like, or you wouldn't bring up whatever. So it's not like they wouldn't. It's not like, oh, they would change it so it's a lie. They would just phrase it differently. And it's not just poker reporting where this happens. Not to completely take things completely off topic, but when the whole Rob Mercer thing came out, the guy who wrote the article in the Las Vegas Journal, was it, or whoever wrote the article
Right.
before stuff came out, when he was reporting on Mercer and Cody Daniels, he had this feeling like something wasn't quite right, and so he wrote the article saying,
Oh, no, we can't
sorry,
hear
I got
you.
a phone call, so I'm not sure
Okay.
that.
Yeah, you
Okay,
started to
yeah,
say he wrote
so
the article.
saying Rob Mercer said this or that instead of saying that it was factual, so that he was covered in not saying that this is what's actually going on, but still quote unquote reporting on the story. So it's not just like it's not
But
just a
don't you
poker thing.
think? But here's a prime example. So he had red flags, and instead of identifying those red flags, he still went with the story and just um, put the words into Rob's mouth instead of making them his own words.
Right,
And
right.
if you had suspicions, why didn't you call out some of those
Well, he
suspicions? I
had
mean,
suspicions, but his he just had the what do you want to call it, the budget, the whatever, the this, the that. He wasn't there to investigate. He was there to just get some whatever and write an article. So, you know, um, basically, I'm saying everybody's got budgets, everybody's got this. So,
yeah,
with the red flags, he
yeah.
couldn't say whether or not it was true or not. So he
And
just wrote what
honestly,
he knew
that's
was true.
Look, that's kind of a sad state of affairs as far as I'm concerned, that a budget held him back from researching more, digging in more, to protect the community. And that is, you know, that right there screams a lot to me of how much in need we are for outside sponsorships, for our media. Because at that point, that was really early on in the whole Rob Mercer scam. And if he would have had the opportunity to dive in a little deeper, he may have been able to stop the bleeding, otherwise known as the Rob Mercer scam, right? With being able to dive into those red flags. And he may have brought us information so people would have stopped giving that asshole money, right? And so it's really kind of a sad state of affairs that the sponsorship money's not there. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, just like my thoughts on like some of the last things that have been said, like to the story you said about a single mom. I actually second what Kelly said. Like, if you're willing to put your integrity in the question for your paycheck, then I mean, what difference is that than people doing things that lack integrity on the felt? Not that it's to the same degree or whatever, but to me, integrity is integrity. And if you're taking a reporting job or a journalistic job, you have a responsibility of journalistic integrity. And if you are, to ASG's point, even omitting things that you're saying or seeing that you're not putting out there to the public that you know that you saw, then that is, in my mind, still lacking journalistic integrity. Think if you have a spouse and you didn't tell your spouse that you did something, did you lie to them? No. Are you telling the truth? Are you being fully honest? No. And that's, to me, that's an issue. So if you have to put if you're not willing to have integrity in whatever job that you're taking, then single mom or not, I'd say find a different job. But to me, when it
Well,
comes
and
down,
I agree with everything you're saying. But then I look at the flip side of that, Brad, and I say to myself, what about the integrity of the people that are putting the reporters in that
I
position?
agree. I don't like that.
These
I agree with
these
that.
people, these people are in a place of authority, and we have board of Department of Labor laws, right? And people in authority that put those underneath their authority into positions that are unsavory, can be reported to the Board of Labor, right? And so you think about this and you go, wow, an operator putting him in the position of, I pay you, therefore you cannot, report the news, all of the news. You can report it up to a certain extent. Those folks, we need to look at that and say, look, we understand that you're trying to make your brand look good. We want your brand to look good. We do things every day to make your brand look good. But we also want the truth to be told. And if that truth is doesn't make your brand look exactly good today, I'm sorry, but the truth is the truth. And so I have an issue holding a standard above a head of a single mom's, and that's what we're talking about in this case, anybody, but in this
Yeah.
case we just brought up a single mom of two, that her standard should be don't take that job or quit that job. And yet we're not saying, wait a minute, why should she go without a paycheck when she's following her boss's rules, so to speak?
I,
And so,
I think the integrity part, for what it's worth, the integrity is for everybody. It's not.
right,
It
that's
goes
my
from the
point.
top to the bottom, down to the players. To me, the integrity is the word integrity comes from whole. It comes from the word integer. So you're either whole or you're not, and that comes from telling the whole truth. So to me,
Well,
it's a domino. It's for everybody. So not just
well,
because.
and I totally agree, and that's why I'm saying that we should only be calling her out.
I agree. No, I agree. It's to the operators too. And now I agree with the operators that you can't just be like, oh, the WSOP sucks, the WPT sucks, the
Right,
Venetian
right.
sucks. But to me, reporting a live hand that was pushed to a wrong pot, or a pot that didn't have the right amount of chips, or a pot that was pushed to a wrong player, or a pot that doesn't have the right amount of chips, and you call it out, that's not bashing the WPT. That is actually reporting. That should be like a standard of what somebody's doing.
Exactly. 100%. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Brad. I think that's our job. Everybody, that's all of our jobs, is to hold these people responsible, to have these talks, and that's what keeps everybody honest. If we keep them, hold them responsible for what they're doing, if we have these talks, if we bring it up, then it's gonna bring changes. It's gonna make more conversations about it. So I think that's very important. If we don't hold people up to what they should be doing, then we're just as bad as they are. That's how I feel.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Um,
How about a little levity?
Go right ahead.
Here's a funny story. 100 years ago, when I was still on radio and television, I was doing basketball, soccer, and baseball. And we had an independent league team in town. They asked me to become the general manager of, so which was fine. So the local newspaper ran a story about me becoming a general manager of this team. And there were these quotes in the story. They never interviewed me for the article.
They just made it up.
They just made it up. So, like, hello.
There's truth in reporting right
There
there,
you
huh,
go.
Rick?
There you go. I thought we could have a little laugh after all that. So
Oh, that's hilarious. But I've heard many a times people say, "Hey, they never even interview me," or "Hey, I never said that in the interview."
yeah,
But
absolutely.
speaking of great interviews, I am happy to say that I had the pleasure of being interviewed by Brad yesterday on his Twitch channel. I appreciate you asking me for that interview, Brad, and tell folks how they can listen to it.
Yeah, I haven't published the replay yet, but I'll put that out in the next couple of days. So it will be back for a replay for those who missed it. Thank you for those who were there live and were there. Appreciate it. And Sherry, thank you for doing it. I have my next guest next week. I have not made the announcement yet. I'm really excited about it. I think you guys will love this person. This person's really funny. They're really involved in some things that are going on right now. They're in content creation. They're in multimedia production for a major player out there right now. I'm really excited to have them on, and I don't think enough people know about this person, and it's kind of really why I want to do it. These things, I want to bring some awareness to what people are doing. So I'm excited.
Love it. Good luck with that interview. And thank you to those that tuned in yesterday. We had some fun and made some first time announcements too. So appreciate you, Brad. I appreciate that invitation as well. And of course, I will retweet that link when Brad posts it for sure. So thank you. Speaking of, first of all, I want to remind everybody we're going to get into the strip clubs, chapels, churches, and synagogues in a little bit. Of course, we're going to talk about your favorite strip clubs. I have a list of strip clubs to give you for future reference. If you have some favorites, please be prepared to give us those names when we get into that discussion. We would love to know where your favorite strip club is. Of course, your favorite chapel, because, once you go to that strip club and fall in love, you got to get over to the White Chapel and get married, right? Also, we'll discuss some churches and synagogues for all you damn sinners after all that Vegas fun. So we'll be doing that shortly. Please make sure you have your favorites written down so you can read them to us. But let's get into. I saw a couple of things. Yes. First of all, I saw a tweet from Kevin Mathers. The Heads Up tournament is capped at 64. And if you were to win one of the two seats in the $2,700 satellite, because the Heads Up tournament is $25,000, so you could have played a satellite last night for $2,700 to win a seat into that Heads Up match. In the tweet, it said if you won one of those two seats, you would be an alternate for the Heads Up tournament. How do you guys feel about that situation? That you would win that satellite and not even have a seat, you would be an alternate. You guys got any comments
I'm
about that?
punching someone. I don't know who. You know what I mean? But
Right?
someone's gonna get it. Like, what do you mean? I just put how much into what, and I get what, and I'm gonna alter what? Nah, nah.
That's kind of how I felt when I read that. I was like, why didn't they just save two seats? And that the answer to that may be because they didn't know if they would have enough players, and if the satellite would go off, so to speak.
Well, would you get your money back if you don't get into the tournament?
I don't. Well, they did say you can. Let me go get the tweet. They did say that you could. Kevin did say you could. Here it is. I'm going to just read the whole tweet. Tomorrow's, and this was from last night. Tomorrow's field in the 25K No Limit Heads Up Championship is capped at 64 players. Tonight's $7,200 Heads Up Satellite will award the top two players spots on the alternate list. They will also have the option to enter a different 25K event or take 25K in cash, which would be subject to tax reporting. Third and fourth place will receive $11,250 each. So that must have been after the tournament started, right? That's what that sounds
Yeah,
like.
so
That's what
it
it
sounds
sounds
like.
like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would not be happy. I'm just going to tell you. I'm playing the satellite to get into the tournament, and I'm a kind of person that likes to start the tournament on time. And a lot of times, if there's an alternate list, if I'm not one or two, I'm out. But this is a 25K tournament I'm satelliting into. I would not be happy. I'm with you, Isaac.
Why would anyone play it?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, right. Like a
I,
$2,700 fucking maybe satellite. Like what? That's just I don't know. Somebody dropped the ball right there, in my opinion.
So, as I understand it, let me make sure I follow this right. So, it's a 25K satellite, and
no. It's a $2,700 satellite.
all right, okay, but into a 25K tournament, right?
Yes,
And if you win the 25K satellite, then if you're specifically first or second in this story, you are an alternate. You're not guaranteed a seat, correct?
right.
And so I can tell you why that's the case for this specific tournament, but I'll come back to that. So now if you are an alternate and you don't get the seat for whatever reason, you now have a choice to use that for another tournament or you can get your cash for it. Is that true?
Well, and it's not even whether or not you get into the heads up. You could just decide not to play that heads up tournament
And play a
and
different
take that
25K.
25K. Yeah, right.
So actually so let me go into the why. The reason why this tournament always will have an alternate list is because if you think about like the NCAA tournament, there has to be like a perfect bracket because it's a heads up battle setup. So there has to be a heads up, heads up, heads up. So you can't have 67 players in this tournament or 35
Yeah, but all
players.
you have to do is reserve two spots. You just don't, you sell 62 and keep two for the satellite winners.
That's
Done.
that is true. That is true. But they're
Done.
never going to stop somebody that's has money in front of them paying at the cage, though.
Well, I get it. If
But
that's the reasoning, I get it. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm playing that satellite, I'm playing it because I want to be in the next tournament that
right.
I'm satelliting into. I don't want to be an alternate.
Yeah, and you want to play heads up. It's not like you want to play a tournament with 3,000 people or 300
Right.
people.
I
The
mean,
idea is you want to play a heads up tournament.
but the consolation is you can still just take the cash. I mean,
Did they say that, Sherry?
yes.
Yes, you can, but you
Oh,
have to
okay. Well,
pay.
then,
Well,
okay.
you can either look. You
Yeah.
can either go on the alternate list. You can take the 25,000 and apply it to a future 25K tournament, or you could take the cash and pay taxes on it. Those are your choices.
Okay. Well, that's not bad then.
I'm taking the cash. I'm claiming the losses. I'm going to a steakhouse. Let's go, baby.
Steak is on Isaac.
Yeah, there you
But
go. I'm
I'm
with you
just
on
going
that
to
one.
tell you, I'm not playing it. I am not playing that tournament if I'm not a guaranteed seat into the main tournament I'm playing that satellite
Well,
for.
I would
So
Hell
assume,
nah.
I would assume there are going to be some great pros playing in that heads up tournament too.
I can't wait to hear about that one.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's going to be a great tournament.
Yeah,
yeah.
that should be cool.
It's definitely a crusher fest over there. You got Alex Keating is there most of the time, and forget who's there ever. Who others are those guys that I
Oh my
Doug
God, Negron. I
yeah
mean, the whole
Doug
list.
Polk was
Yeah,
debating between the $1 million cash game and playing in that last year. Not an issue for him this
All
year.
right,
He's definitely in it. I'm assuming so.
there you
right
go.
on.
There you go.
All right. Well, I thought that was rather interesting because I had the same initial reaction that Isaac did because I was like, wait a minute. So I just wanted to hear what others thought about it. So moving right along, we're going to talk about all the deadlines have been met and the registrations are closed for all the different fantasy leagues that are out there. And I'm so excited that my team in the OD Baker Fantasy League is called Team Spacers. We had some great and some not so great name suggestions, and I chose Team Spacers because you know what? That's what we are. We're spacers, and I wanted people to be able to identify our team by how we are, where we come together as a group, and that's in spaces. So that's kind of where I was with choosing that name. For those that are interested, as far as who we picked as our players, and I'm excited because I think we have a hell of a good team. So our team consists of Brian Rast, John Raisnier, Robert Mizraki, Stephen Song, Ben Lamb, Big Hooney, Lucky Chewy, and Andrew Moreno. And our bonus player is Chris Mormon, which I love him as a bonus player because he's going to play live and online. So, ASG, you have any comments about our team or the process?
Uh, no, not really. There was, I could say it was, I provided some input. We had a meeting before we knew the prices, where we also went over some stuff, and I think I don't think anybody is unpleased with anybody that was chosen. Definitely had little debates, but that seemed to be just with me and Jerry of like, do we want to go with this person or this person? But it was definitely not like either option was bad. So yeah,
Yeah, we had some great discussions, and we
and
were all about playing the sleuths and trying to get some insider information of who's scheduling what this summer. So
yeah,
it
and
was it was
I
fun.
even used the insider info of for my own poker org team. If and when we go over those.
You got a
Absolutely.
good Florida guy in there, and John Racner, and also Ben Lamb started out as a dealer for me when we opened poker in Oklahoma at Cherokee. So
Well, I said that in a space one day that Ben
yeah,
Lamb started as a dealer, and
yeah,
people told me I was lying. I didn't know what I was talking about.
no,
So
no,
then I
no,
had
no,
to, of
yeah,
course, I was able to dig up information to prove them wrong. And,
yeah. And he cut
and
his teeth on those PLO games we had. We had those when during Scotty's tournaments at Cherokee, which is now the Hard Rock in Tulsa. We had two PLO tables that had over $1 million on each one of them. And
crazy.
all the pros that came to play Scotty's tournament, like Sexton and Matazow and Elaine Flack, a number of these guys played in those PLO games, and my dealers were able to deal at 18 and play at 18, and that's how Ben cut his teeth, playing in
Love
those
it.
games and learning those games and playing against Linda Johnson and Jan Fisher and all. Liebert
The
came
whole gang.
post some stuff. Yeah, so
The whole
it was
gang.
quite interesting, and he
Well,
actually
and I'm
had
going to
me.
tell you, he only went for $1. So I thought he was
Oh,
a
gee.
steal. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So I
What
was
a
like,
deal.
we're stealing Ben Lamb for a
No,
dollar.
Ben Lamb was 15.
Oh no, Ben Lamb was 15. I just looked at my note. You're right. Sorry, he was 15. Who was our dollar? Oh, Andrew Moreno and Lucky Chewy, right?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think
I
that
think
sounds
Chewy
correct.
was $1. Yeah, I think when I saw you guys' list, Chewy was $1.
Yeah,
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 Lamb was 15. My mistake. Sorry about that. Thank you, SG.
That's
Appreciate
that's more than Matazow, that's for sure.
yeah.
that. Poor
Mattisau
man.
was $3.
Yeah. Isaac, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, I'm glad that y'all did the picking because a bozo like me would have just been like, put it all on Seaver and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like prayed for, so good shit, y'all. No, really, the picks were solid. I can't believe Chewy was not higher, but that's awesome. And Hooney, like, yo, didn't he take
Hooney.
the high roller last year?
Hooney was on a roll last year, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look at my list. Hooney was 10th in scoring points in fantasy league last year. The top scorer was Jeremy Osmus. He had 388 points. Chris Hooney had 237 points. He went for $15 like Ben Lamb.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I can't understand it. And I'm also going to tell you, this was a guy that I really considered taking for $1 was Dong Chen. And he's one of the chip leaders going into a tournament today. So there you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you just never know.
That
So we're hoping some of those picks are going to just turn it on this summer.
Mike Matisow got the first cash, his first cash already too. So
I love it.
whoever
I
got
No
love
in
it.
on his
shit.
squad. Yep.
Hell yeah.
He's on a mission, just like Alan Kessler. Kessler is on a mission this year because he did not get picked.
Yeah, but they interviewed him about the bonus because he was on the bonus player list,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, but they could take you for the bonus player list," and he goes, "No, anybody who takes me over Joe McKeon's an idiot, basically."
And I'm going to tell you, it was between McKeon and Mormon. But I love the fact that Mormon plays so much online. I think that could help us on the back end.
I don't
Well,
think.
online doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it does either, but I just think his volume. I like the volume he plays, quite honestly. So anyway, that's our fantasy team for Team Spacers. And I'm gonna let you guys know who's on my team. Isaac is on my team, and again, I don't want anybody to be upset with me that they were not on our team. Honestly, it was a willy nilly pick. I just made a list of people and I just went down the list until I found 9 people to say yes. And so I don't want anybody's feelings hurt that they're not on our team. But think of it this way, if this works out well and it's not too much of a hassle, next year maybe we'll draft 3 or 4 teams. I'll just open it up, whoever wants to do it, and then we'll just have 3 or 4 teams of spaces people. So it's a stepping stone, not the end, I guess is my point. But please don't get your feelings hurt if you weren't asked to be on the team. There was no offense and no rhyme or reason. So the people on our team are me, ASG, Software Brian, Todd Rizzo, Kieran Chess, Ryan Koss, Isaac, Burrows, Wolfie, and Fats. So those are the people that are all owners of the ODB Bakers League team called the Spacers. So I hope you guys help us have fun following that team, and hopefully we'll finish in the excuse me, top 10%. Go ahead, Isaac.
I just want to say, like, you know what I'm saying? We could have been the Avengers, y'all. You know what I mean? That's a hell of a list of names. Feel like we could have saved the world.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? I could still add 30 names to that list as well because we have so many amazing people here in spaces. And that's why I don't want anybody to have their feelings hurt that they're not on the team because there's no rhyme or reason with I literally just made a list of names and went down that list,
You know,
and I
Sherry,
wasn't going
what's
to
gonna
stop
happen next,
until
right? There's gonna
what?
be like spaces dedicated to those who didn't make it, right? You just fueled like 2 weeks of content for someone out there. You know it.
Hey, God bless them. I'm glad I can provide solid content for them. I guess they need it. Who said that? But anyway, I see in the chat, Bathwater for Buy-in said, just wanted to leave this here so everyone knows that Navin is saying the quiet part out loud about Alan Kessler's that everyone already knows. And it is in response to Chance Court's tweet. And it says, I think Alan Kessler is the right person to answer this as he does a bunch of shady things like this. I'm witness to one for such instance, was his reply to Chance Court's tweet of, are there any safeguards in place when people max late reg with 12 big blinds? They see they are in the big blind and just never show up and get refunded. question mark.
and
So
and then he, but I just want to actually
please
defend
do.
Kessler in this instance that uh, someone said, well, sorry, Kessler responds uh, liar, and then Davin goes back to last year when uh, Kessler, I want to say late regged, or yeah, I think he late regged a tournament. This was not at the end of late reg, and they were four-handed, and he purposely didn't give in his table card so that they would be able to start because he didn't want to start shorthanded. This is a completely different situation than the issue that Chance was bringing up of people stalling late reg in order to make the money in a cheap slash angly way. It's a complete. I'd say it's like not the same situation at all, in my opinion.
Thank you. Honestly, I have no reference, but I'm glad you are giving us a little reference point because I really don't have any comments on it. I'm sorry, I don't know enough about it. Bathwater for Buy-ins also said Sidney Swinney is not a singer. She's amazing, and he's got a little uh, picture or gift in the chat if you guys want to go check it.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. And you know what's
Oh
funny is I
my
thought she was because that's kind of like these days there's a lot of singer, actor, fucking I do everything folks. So pretty crazy. I see her name everywhere on the X timeline though. I will say that. She's
God. All right. All right, we know what he's been looking at that is AI is zoning in on her. But anyway, moving right along, I just want to say that Avi sent me a message that he thinks that the guy that won the employee event, the industry employee event, is actually an employee from the 7 Mile Casino in California. So we were wondering about that yesterday. So that
Yeah,
gentleman works
yeah.
at the
Looks like the
Seven
winner
Mile
is
Casino.
a dealer, but I'll tell you that second place 69 guy. I looked at his Hendon, and he looks like a Florida pro to me. But that's just my opinion.
Well, he could be a Florida pro and still work at a casino or card room. So
What was his name? Do you remember?
um, we'll get
No,
it to
I
you.
only remember the 69 fake name. I don't remember the real name.
I'll get it to you, Rick.
There
And
you have it. The year I graduated from high school.
nice.
man, you're young.
Okay.
All right, you guys, let's move on to poker around town so that we can get on to, Karen Chess because I know she doesn't have a microphone, so I could poke at her and make fun. Um, we want to get on to discussing her favorite strip joint. So go ahead, Isaac, with your tournaments around town.
Sure. Let me just pull those up really quickly. So, yo, what did I hear yesterday? Somebody was saying something about South Point. I don't know if I missed it, but
Yeah, we did talk about South Point. They canceled a couple of their regular. She's giving me a face emoji. um, they had canceled a couple of their normal scheduled tournaments in order to make way for their special like flight. I think it was 1C maybe and
okay,
1D.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was freaking out. Okay, good. All right. So, all right, y'all. Let's start with the Westgate. Westgate offers their daily poker tournaments, 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. $45 buy-in, no limit hold'em tournaments. 7 p.m. a $65 buy-in, no limit hold'em tournament. 9 p.m. $60 buy-in, no limit hold'em tournament. Additionally, they host the 3 p.m. Lazy Pineapple tournament with the $45 buy-in. Moving to Planet Hollywood, they have four daily no limit hold'em tournaments at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. And each tournament has a $100 buy-in and offers a starting stack of 20,000. Sorry about that. 20,000 chips. Let me see. And lastly, we have Red Rock. Red Rock hosts daily no limit hold'em tournaments at 10:35 a.m. Now the buy-ins vary per day, So Monday through Thursday, you have $125 buy-in. Friday to Sunday, $150 buy-in, and you get a starting stack of 25,000 chips there.
Awesome. Thank you for those updates. I appreciate you. Rick, you want to go ahead?
You talking? You want me to go ahead, Chair?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So today is day 2 of South Point's 200K, $200,000 guarantee at 2:10 p.m. So I'm not sure if it's going to affect any of their dailies or not.
It is not.
It
They're
is
going
not.
to,
Okay,
no.
so their dailies, 10 a.m. They have a daily no limit home tournament for $120, $10,000 guarantee, and that's 20,000 starting chips. At 2:10, they have a turbo bounty for 120, and it's $5,000 guarantee. At 6:10 tonight, a black chip bounty for $300, a $20,000 guarantee, and a no limit home turbo bounty at 10:10 tonight, $120, $3,000 guarantee. Again, that would be a $20,000 starting chips. So that's what's going on today. At South Point tomorrow, I'll do Saturday and Sunday too. They have Mystery Bounty at 10:10, 240, $15,000 guarantee. 2:10 is their usual turbo bounty for 120. At 6:10 is their their no limit hold'em deeper stack for 240, which is a $30,000 starting chips for $20,000 guarantee, and 10:10 their normal turbo bounty for 120. On Sunday, they have the usual daily no limit hold tournament at 10 o'clock, 10:10, 120, 10,000. Their turbo bounty at 2:10, 125,000. They have at 6:10 a $50 bounty, $180 buy-in for $10,000 guarantee, and their normal 10:10 p.m. no limit hold'em turbo bounty, 123,000. So that's the South Point. Now moving over
Well,
to
wait a minute. Let me interrupt you for 1 minute and
sure.
thank you for that information. Day 2 today of their big tournament, they have 133 players returning, and they went over the guarantee. There is a $258,000 prize pool. So thank you. Go ahead.
Wow, that's great for them. That's
It
terrific.
really is.
So, all right, moving on to the Win. Win has some really neat stuff going on here. Today, Friday, starting time 11 o'clock. Late registration is 2 o'clock. It's a satellite to the $1,600 seniors, $300 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, 10 seats being given away. At 11 o'clock is the No Limit Hold'em Seniors 1A. Late registration is at 6:30, $1,600 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $1,000,000 guarantee. And for us old farts, that's pretty cool. At
Right
1
on.
o'clock, start time 1 o'clock. At late registration is 5:30. A 5-card PLO event, which is a $1,100 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $50,000 guarantee. That's a really cool game. At 7 o'clock, late registration is 8 o'clock. A satellite to the $1,600 senior again, $300 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, 10 seats. And at 6 o'clock, they have their no limit hold'em turbo tournament. Late registration is at 9. It's $1,100, unlimited rebuys, $100,000 guarantee. And on Saturday is at 11 o'clock is the seniors 1B. So that's $1,600 buy-in, $1,000,000 guarantee, which is great. Late registration for that is 6:30. At noon, they have a no limit home tournament. Late registration is 4:30. $1,100 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $200,000 guarantee. And at 6 o'clock, they have their turbo tournament. Late registration ends at 9 o'clock, $1,100, unlimited rebuy, $100,000 guarantee. Moving on to Sunday, it's 1C of the seniors tournament at 11 o'clock. Late registration 6:30, $1,600 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $1,000,000 guarantee. And at 6 o'clock at the Win, they have a turbo tournament that late registration ends at 9 o'clock, $1,100 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $100,000 guarantee. So that's what's going on at the Wynn. Some neat tournaments at the Wynn, and then over at the Venetian today, Friday, at 11:10, with late registration ending at 4:40. A no limit hold'em bounty tournament, $200, $500. The buy-in is $600. Unlimited rebuys, $50,000 guarantee. And at 6:10, with the late registration ending at 10:40, no limit hold'em bounty tournament, $100 bounty tournament, $400 buy-in with a $25,000 guarantee. And moving on to Saturday at the Venetian, they have their 11:10 no limit hold'em tournament, $600 buy-in, $50,000 guarantee with their 440 late registration. At 12:10, it's a big O bounty, $200 bounty that ends at 540. $800 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $100,000 guarantee. At 6:10, with the late registration ending at 10:40, no limit hold'em bounty tournament, $100 bounties, $400 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $25,000 guarantee. And then on Sunday at the Venetian, 11:10 start time, 440 is your late registration, no limit hold'em bounty, $200, $500 again, $600 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, $50,000 is the guarantee. And at 12:10, my kind of tournament, a PLO tournament with the late registration ending at 540. It's an $800 buy-in, $100,000 guarantee for that PLO tournament. And then again, at 6 o'clock is their $100 no limit hold'em bounty tournament with 1040 as the late registration period. $400 buy-in, $25,000 is the guarantee on that. So that's your South Point, your Wynn, and your Venetian up until Monday.
I appreciate your efforts so much, Rick. Thank you so much.
My
And I want to say to you, I'm going to let you off the hook. So when you're doing this in the future, I just want you to do today's tournament so that you don't have to be on the hook for so much at one
Okay,
time.
that is absolutely fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
I've got to tell you about one place. So you're going to talk about all the neat, the strip clubs and the chapels and all that other stuff. There's one other place I was going to mention that, if you don't mind, just 1 second. That's really family orientated and very, very cool. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever been there, but it's called Meow Wolf. Have any of you guys ever heard of that place?
No.
It's at 3215 South Ranchero Drive in Vegas. It's across from I-15. It is the coolest place for entire families. And we've taken my granddaughter there when she was young, and now she's 14. She loves going there. It is the most eclectic, crazy place. It is it's called the Omega Mart. It's a really neat kind of grocery store place where you can go in and out. There's all kinds of doors and going to other areas. It's really quite a cool place.
Very
And
cool. Thank you for telling us about
yeah,
that.
there's like 4 different buy-ins to get into it, but it's a really neat place called Meow Wolf, and it's for the whole family. So you can take your family there. The food's great at the restaurants in there, and it's a really cool place over on Ranchero Drive. So
Well, thank you for
you
letting
know,
us know that. That is
you
called
got it.
Meow Wolf on
Yep,
Ranchero
the Omega
Drive.
Mart, Meow Wolf.
It in Omega Mart. It's a great family spot. So thank you.
You
I'm
got
going
it.
to continue on with the tournament schedule for today. Caesar's Palace tournament schedule at 10 and 6 p.m. 10 a.m. $120 buy-in, $50 add-on, 15K starting stack, 20-minute blinds, $1,000 guarantee. At 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. is $160 buy-in, $50 add-on, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blind levels, 2K guarantee. Over at Resorts World at 12:05 and 7:05, there is a $200 no limit tournament, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds, 3K guarantee. At Mandolin Bay at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. is a $60 no limit, 10K guarantee, 15-minute blinds, 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds, no guarantees. That's over at the Mandolin Bay. Moving on to Let me flip my page. Moving on to the Aria is their 11 o'clock start, no limit, $800 buy-in tournament, and it is a $150,000 guarantee. Be reminded that if you make it to the final table, you're going to get a bag of swag, which includes an Aria hoodie. So that's kind of a nice thing if you make that final table over there. Over at the MGM Grand today, you have a deuce to seven triple draw at 10 o'clock, $600 buy-in, 25K guarantee. At 1 o'clock, their PLO day 2 begins. 1400 hours, best game 1B, Big O tournament is a $600 tournament. $100,000 guarantee. At 1,800 hours is their no limit $250 buy-in, $7,500 guarantee. And at 2,100 hours, no limit tournament is $150 buy-in, 3K guarantee. Over at the Orleans at 11 o'clock is a no limit tournament, $300 buy-in, 30,000 guarantee. At 1,600 hours is the 0808 stud tournament. No, I'm sorry, '08 stud/8 tournament. $240 buy-in, 10K guarantee. At 1,800 hours is the no limit tournament, $200 buy-in, 30K guarantee. 2,200 hours is their survivor, $125 buy-in, $1,500 guarantee. Over at the Nugget, and I'm not even going to say what the guarantees are because I did not match up with the new schedule. But at 11 o'clock is the Mystery Bounty 1D. It's a $300 buy-in. At 12 o'clock is their PLO 808 Big O tournament, $400 buy-in. 1,500 hours is their Mystery Bounty 1E, again a $300 buy-in. And at 1,900 hours is Flight 1F of that Mystery Bounty $300 buy-in tournament. So moving right along over to the WSOP, maybe. What did I do with my notes? Oh, yeah, here we go. All right. Over at the WSOP, the Mystery Millions Flight 1C was yesterday. They had 2,995 runners. 153 will move on to day 2. Event number 4, day 2 was yesterday, which was the $1,500 buy-in Omaha High Low 8 or 8 or better. No, I'm sorry. You guys know I'm not a mixed game player. So Omaha High or Low 8 or better, 8-handed, had 910 players with 224 going into yesterday and 137 being paid. First place went home to an American, Davin Anderson of the United States, took 205,000 home. Second place was Raul, uh, I think it's Pays from the UK. He took home 136,000. Amin Cash was $3,027. A little shout out to Clyde Gaskins, my favorite Aria dealer, who actually I requested for him to deal to us in the very first meetup game at the Aria in December of 2023. He was one of our dealers per my request, and during that tournament, he took home $7,000, over $7,000 for his 22nd place finish. And just a side note for our team spacers, Rob Mizraki took home 47th place for over 4,000 in that event. On to today at 10 o'clock, Flight 1D of the Mystery Millions. Of course, it's a $1,000 buy-in. 12 p.m., day 3 of event number 3, which is the 8-handed no limit 5K event. There were 693 runners. They're down to 25 going into today with a prize pool of 3.2 million. Antonio Galliani, maybe, is the chip leader with 3.6 millions. And Giorgio, and I'm going to definitely spell his last name, Sotiropoulos, Poulos is in second place with chip stack of 3 million. At 12 o'clock is the day 2 of the 5K pot limit Omaha. Event number 5, there were 757 runners, 123 move on. The prize pool is 3.5 million. Matthew Beck, thank you God for an easy name. Matthew Beck is our chip leader with 1.3 million. Michael Duke has 1 million in chips, and he is second place in chip stacks. At 12 p.m., event number 7, the 25K heads up event, will begin. At 1 p.m., event number 6, day 2, is the 7 card stud event. There were 377 runners. They're down to 69. The prize pool is over $500,000. John Woolen has 439 thousand in chips in his stack. Matthew Valio has 353K, and Ryan Shep has 340K going into day 2 of that 7 card stud event. Just a side note, for Team Spacers, Brian Rast is still in it to win it in that 7 card stud event with 153,000 in his stack. At 2 p.m., event number 8 is the $1,500 Dealer's Choice Day 1. At 7 p.m. is event number 132, $1,100 Omaha High-Low Split 8 or Better Day 1. If you want to know about the warm-up events or deep stacks for today, please check your app because we're going to move on with our daily coverage. Anybody got any comments or questions about those schedules?
Only that the pain in my heart for not being in Vegas is real.
No, I agree. And we get FOMO every time we start reading those schedules. It's actually kind of funny. All right, I'm going to give you my annual daily reminder, and probably in a couple days, I will only give this every few days as people come and go to Vegas. But please make sure you take a picture of where you park your vehicle, the spot, the floor number, so it'll be easier to find your way home later that day. Also, take a picture of your chip stack when you leave the table, and take a picture of your table number when you leave the table. Don't take a picture of the dealer. The dealer moves around. Take a picture of your table number. Go ahead, Isaac.
Also, want to remind y'all that when rolling your joints, please don't roll monsters. You only got about 10 minutes during a smoke break, so make sure you're keeping that in consideration. You don't want to be wasting any weed. Super important. Also, for all of you guys who are super like grinder maniacs, you want to make sure that you're not taking too high of a dose of Adderall. Okay, because the crash out can be real. I've seen it on the tables. People look jittery. You look like meth heads. Not a good look,
Okay.
fam. Not a good look.
Look, and we're not promoting Adderall. We're not promoting weed on this show. Those are just side notes in case you need to know those things. We would prefer you didn't do anything like that, but we know that people are out there doing it. So those are side notes for those that do.
The more you
Um,
know.
the more you know.
What you mean? You
I'm
talking about Stu Unger or what?
stop.
Rest in peace to the legend. Rest in peace
Right
to the
on.
legend. Yo,
All
his
right.
daughter goes so hard for him on X. I
Yeah.
love to see it.
Yeah,
Yes, she
She goes
does.
super hard for him. Like,
he was a
Yeah.
cool dude. Cool dude. He was real. He was one of the greatest gin players in the world too.
yeah, I saw
Absolutely.
that he was like basically way more of a legend of gin and gin rummy, right? Like they had to
Yeah,
stop him from
absolutely,
playing.
absolutely. So
Amazing. Amazing. Can you
Uh,
imagine his card sense though?
yeah, he
Man,
had it.
man.
He had.
if you ask me for a table of 10 to play with, he's number one for me.
There you go.
Like, I
Absolutely.
really, of all the people I have ever read about,
Yeah.
he is the most intriguing to me that I would love to just sit down and talk to him for a couple of hours. Like, he is so intriguing as a person, as a poker player, a gin player, whatever games he played. Uh,
Well, maybe you should invite his daughter to come on your spaces.
Okay, we're moving right along. Winners, and normally when I say that, it's because maybe I already have. And here we are. The Venetian had some winners, and congratulations to Jay Orris, who was the winner via a three-way chop of the $600 Monster Deep Stack for $11,000. Sammy, and I spoke this name yesterday, so this guy is on a win. I'm gonna on a winning streak. I'm gonna spell his name. Sammy Dighlawi took second place in that three-way chop for over 9,400. And congrats to Joseph Servo, who took third place in that chop for also over 9,400. Shout out to Brandon Brown, who took the fourth place spot for over 4K in that event. Over at the win, uh, Kensing Ping, I know, easy for me to say, won the $600 no limit 50K guarantee at the win for over 13,000. Over at the Bellagio, a staff member of the poker room took 11th place in the industry employee event. So congrats to Angelo. Hopefully we're going to see Angelo on June 21st at our 5th official meetup game at the Bellagio at 1 p.m. You see what I did there, folks? Okay, moving on to I know what is the hot topics of today because I've been getting messages. Of course, we're going to talk about strip clubs today. We want to know your favorites. And of course, when you fall in love at the strip club, as you guys and women know, you want to get married next. So we're going to talk about wedding chapels. And for the sinners, we're going to talk about churches and synagogues as well. So have your list ready when we want to hear about your favorites. So I'm going to start it out with let's be clear. I'm not promoting anyone to go to a strip club, like I'm not promoting anyone to do drugs. But we know that often many frequent these clubs. I've been to one or two myself in my life, but not in Vegas. If you would like to come up on the panel and give us your favorite club, or at least a club you've heard about through the grapevine, wink, wink, you're welcome to do so. And be reminded to double check all information I and others give for accuracy so you ensure the best trip of your life when you go to Vegas. Because we make mistakes, information's updated since we looked it up, whatever. So visit their websites. I'm only going to give information out about 4 strip clubs. And if anybody wants to add any names to the list, please, by all means, do so. First one on my list is called Cherry Girls. It's at 3050 Westwood Drive, and it is open 24 hours, in case you're wondering. The second one is Strip Club Concierge, located at Planet Hollywood. This too is open 24 hours. The third club I'm going to mention is Las Toxa. No, I'm saying this wrong. Las Toxicas. Toxicas.
That's Las
Gentlemen,
Toxicas. Las
thank
Toxicas,
you.
y'all.
I knew you would be helping me with that one. Gentlemen's Club, which is at 2112 Western Avenue, open 24 hours. It's as though Isaac knew all about that place, but what do I know? Another one is the Vegas Best Strip Club Service, located in the Hughes Center at 3960 Howard Hughes Parkway in Las Vegas. You'll need to check their hours of operations online because their hours of operations vary from day to day. So anybody have any comments or would like to add any more club names to this list? Don't be shy.
Funny enough, I really don't go to strip clubs.
And you're not alone. There are a lot of folks that don't. And and to each his own, right? I mean, no shade if you do, no shade if you
Oh
don't.
no, 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 absolutely not.
Right?
Absolutely not. I just have trust issues with strippers. That's all.
Go ahead, Isaac.
I can't. I just can't.
I mean, I meant to say, go ahead,
It's
ASG.
okay.
Oh, I
It's
was
okay.
gonna say I've only gone for bachelor parties, and like at least talk about that with packages are available on their sites and stuff. Probably stuff is negotiable. Look at the alcohol prices before you start buying bottles. I guess that's true for the nightclubs as well. But yeah, just know what you're getting into before you go. Set a budget. Don't go to the ATM. Um,
Ever,
and
like
and
ever.
watch out for credit card fees. There you go. That's a big one. Watch out for credit card fees because
And try to have an RF
yeah.
wallet. For those of you guys who don't know what that means, it's a wallet that makes sure that somebody tries to put a scanner up to your wallet, they won't be able to swipe all your information. RFD wallets are not hard to find. If you just look one up on Amazon, you could get one pretty cheap. Um, they'll save you. They'll save you because especially me in crypto, I've seen this happen a few times to people with their regular wallets. So be careful, y'all.
All right, so let's recap. So double check pricing, look for VIP packages on their websites. Definitely check out their pricing for bottles ahead of time so you know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure you keep your credit card safe. Don't forget to take a stack of $5 bills with you, right? Because inflation, dollars don't get it anymore, people. Don't be cheap. Take a stack of fives, 20s, hundreds, whatever your heart desires. But most importantly, do not go to the ATM when you're there because you've probably already spent enough money if you're going to an ATM. So, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything in that recap?
Uh, I think you said it, but just besides ATM fees, there are many places that put like just by using the credit card, they'll say whatever fees. And I always say in general for all things Vegas, I take a set amount of cash in my pocket, and I don't deviate from that once I've set my budget.
Right on. And that's probably one of the hardest things for especially degens to do, right? Is to stick within that budget because you're having fun. Well, guess what? Tomorrow when you wake up, you're going to be not so happy with yourself. So stick with your budget. So in the morning, you feel good about yourself and what you did the night before as far as your budget is concerned. Now, for those of you that fall in love with, go ahead, Isaac, before I get.
Just a quick reminder, everybody, tip your servers, especially when you're on the tables. That's how you get that
Amen.
love.
Amen. Even if you're at the poker table and it's just water, don't make me have to embarrass you for not tipping the server for that water. Please don't make me embarrass you because I will. And how I do it is I throw the tip to the server and say, here, since he or she didn't tip you, let me do it for them. So I will embarrass you if you don't tip. So just be known. For those of you that fall madly in love at the strip club, and just want to take it to the next level, I have a list of wedding chapels for you to, you know, be able to refer to when you're trying to make the quick getaway with your favorite stripper to the wedding chapel. Again, verify the information on their websites. Just know I'm going to talk about six of them. I think maybe one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, six of them. There are literally tens, if not hundreds of wedding chapels. So do your due diligence to find the package you want for you and your best friend that's getting married. And I say it jokingly with the strippers just because, it's part of the bit this morning. But I have attended a wedding in Vegas before and it's tons of fun. Go ahead, Brad.
So, kind of a cool story on the chapels. I just saw this, and I didn't know this, but I saw a post from Lynn Gilmartin like a month ago or so. She is married to Angel Guillen, poker player, and they've been married for like 10 or 15 years now. And apparently, via her post, I found out her and Angel got married at a drive-through chapel in Vegas. True story. I was like, I didn't even know they had those. Drive-through chapel
no,
was
th-
during
you
COVID.
know,
So
I have one on my list. So it's funny you bring it up, but when I stumbled across it, I was like, oh, okay. let's talk about a quick marriage drive-through. I don't think you can get any faster than a drive-through marriage. Oh, I love it so much. Like I said, I was able to attend a wedding. Was it last year or the year before? God, I can't even remember. But anyway, I guess it would have been 2023. Anyway, it was amazing. It was so much fun. And it was off my bucket list now because I always wanted to go to a wedding at a chapel in Vegas. So let's get to it.
Yeah, my brother
Um,
got married at the Luxor, and yeah, I don't know if it was I think it was a whole package. We got like
yes.
tickets to the magic show after and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They offer a lot of different packages. I mean, it is from the simplest to the chock full with tickets and, limos and you name it, flowers and whatever. So, again, whatever your budget or your wants are. So, here we go. Lucky Little Wedding Chapel is at 321 East Casino Boulevard. Elvis Chapel is also at 1320 South Casino Center Boulevard. And Graceland Wedding Chapel is at 619 Las Vegas Boulevard. Las Vegas Wedding Chapel is at 375 Lewis Avenue. And the Little White Wedding Chapel is at 1301 South Vegas Boulevard. And that is one that does have a drive through so you can take your vows without even leaving your vehicle. And the last one on my list is Vegas Weddings at 555. So 555 South 3rd Street in Las Vegas. So those are our wedding chapels. And let me tell you, if you plan to go to one of those, please hit me up so I can come. I want to be a guest. I'm just telling you right now. Go ahead, Isaac.
There's something I've been wanting to give everybody some info on because, for those of you that have tried to like go to certain restaurants and you can't get in because reservations are like super far ahead in advance or things of that nature, there's a couple of things that I've tried before and they work out pretty good. And one of them, if you've never heard of them before, is called Lip Smacking Foodie Tours, right? Like, they offer some very interesting packages, right? They allow you to either focus on your vacation time, right? But you'll visit like three or four of the best restaurants in Vegas with a VIP host. You'll get a tasting menu, and then like reservations don't matter because they have like some kind of special relationship with all of these.
Awesome. What's the name of it again? Lip. Oh, he must have a phone call.
Okay, and just to be half serious, if you are planning on getting married, remember you can't just you need a license. You can't just show up.
Right on. If you want it legalized, right? Now, I can understand people do it just in the spur of the moment and don't care if they have the license or not. But if you want it to be a legally binding marriage, you have to have that marriage
Well, a lot of the
license.
places they won't, even let you do anything unless if you have that part. So yeah.
Yeah, just double check with the venue and how they do it, right? Because, some people don't want to make it legal, but they still want to commit each other to each other through vows. So, um, definitely double check the venues to make sure they meet your needs. Isaac, are you there? He might be on that Obama phone again. So we're going to just go on with the churches and synagogues around Vegas. So if you feel the need to meet the Lord and talk with them for a while, let me give you some places that you can go. And always remember, you can also do it wherever you are in the world and the place you are. Um, Guardian Angel Cathedral is a Catholic church at 302 Cathedral Way. Our Lady of Las Vegas Church is also a Catholic church at 3050 Alta Drive. First Baptist Church of Las Vegas is at 4400 West Oakley Boulevard, and that, of course, is a Baptist church. Summit Ridge Church at 7485 West Azure Drive is a non denominational church. Temple of Sinai, Las Vegas is at 9001 Hill Point Road, and that is a Reformed synagogue. Shabbat of Southern Nevada at 1261 Arville Street is a synagogue. Las Vegas Reformed Presbyterian Church at 8601 Del Webb Boulevard is, of course, a Presbyterian church. And International Church of Las Vegas at 8100 West Cliff Drive is an Assemblies of God church. So, again, double check those websites. If you want this list, it'll be posted at some point on my Twitter feed. And of course, it's never too late to turn to the Lord or say a prayer for yourself or someone else. So there you go.
I have a
And
funny story about the guardian angel.
oh, please do. We
I went
love
I went to
stories.
St. Viator High School in Arlington Heights, which is the clerics of Viator, right?
Right.
Father Bob Carey, a great Irish priest, was there for 4 years when I was there for 4 years, and he was from Guardian Angel, and then he went back there, and so he would tell me stories. He would take all the chips that were collected every Sunday and go back and turn them into all the casinos. And he had he had a little black bag, that he carried around town with him, and he would turn them into the casinos to get the money because during the collections at the Guardian Angel Cathedral, that's what they would get. They would get casino chips.
That's hilarious.
So,
That is so funny, but yet fun. And kudos to him to making sure that it got
oh yeah, he,
transferred
he
to
made sure that
dollars.
was for sure. And it was Mo Dalitz that they went to, who gave him. Even though Mo Dalitz was Jewish, he gave him the land to build the Guardian Angel, which is right next to the Encore.
Oh,
It's a
interesting.
beautiful place. And the gentleman, the priest that was my athletic director in high school was the rector there for many years, Father Pat Cahill. So a lot of very close connection to that place. And it's a beautiful chapel, beautiful cathedral.
Well, thank you for sharing that because, we think about people going to church when they're in Vegas, which, teach their own. And, it's kind of funny that they would put in a casino chip into the basket.
Absolutely.
It's kind of
Oh,
funny. But kudos to them, of
yeah.
course. Right. All right. You guys, anybody have anything they want to bring up or I've forgotten or we need to correct or whatever? I'm going to go around the horn. If you're in the audience and want to come up and chime in on something, please do. Now's the time to request a microphone to do that. I'm going to start out with Brad. Do you have any comments or questions or topics to bring up before we sign off?
Nope. Appreciate you doing these, Sherry. Love it. Great job today. Great, nice show. Nothing really to add. Good here.
Thank you.
Good,
Appreciate you
good,
and your kind words.
good luck to everybody on the felt today. If you're playing anywhere, live or online.
Yeah, go get him, Brad. Go get him.
Go get them. All right, Rick, you're next. Any
No,
last?
no, it's a great show. My son's getting into town today, and he's going to play the Millie one of these 2 days. So good luck to him today.
Absolutely. Good
What
luck
happened?
to him.
Another great show, Sherry. You do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do that with you and with Brad and ASG and all our listeners. Whoever comes and chimes in, whether it be a message in the chat for us to talk about or a comment or something silly and fun, we're here for it. And so I appreciate all of you and the kind words. ASG, go ahead, buddy.
Uh, Evergreen topic, and we could talk about it some other time. But what do you think of the day after people start winning bracelets? Them interrupting the next day's events to have their national anthem be played, because I just find it annoying and unnecessary.
Yeah, it's that old pomp and circumstances, right? And the thing about it is for me it's about timing, right? And so if we do it first thing in the morning before the cards are dealt, yeah, I'm about it because it's not disturbing any poker, right? If we're doing like I was at a tournament last year and they stopped everybody, like dealers, hold the deal. Everybody stop what you're doing in order to do it. I'm not about that life. I don't think it should ever disturb the poker that's going on in the room personally. Do I want them to do it? Yeah, I think we should acknowledge the winners. They've went through a lot to get there. It's costly. They battled however many other players to win the bracelet, as well as the WSOP is celebrating their bracelet event, and I think that the operator is entitled to do that and should do that. I think the timing of it and when that's taken place, needs to be, for me, the first thing in the morning. Like, thank you for that. Anybody else have any comments on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think either first thing in the morning or like right before they're starting feature table coverage. But yeah, some way where it's not interfering what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. Because it was quite an interference when I was there last year. Like, I was like, what the hell are we doing here? Then some people stand, some people don't stand. Then our table is still trying to play and they're yelling at the people that are trying to stand. I'm sorry, but if somebody's anthem is playing, whether it's mine or someone else's, I'm standing. That's who I am. And if you don't like it, you could fuck off because this game of cards can wait 2 minutes while somebody's anthem is being played. But, it really kind of brought some negativity to the table because then people that, didn't stand were mad that we weren't continuing the hand. And those that were standing were like, fuck you. Like, we're trying to be respectful of this person's flag. Right. And so it really ended up being a shit show at our table. So that's where I'm at with that. Aren't you glad you asked?
Yeah, I just brought it up because I just saw a tweet from Derek Kwan where it says poker players having to listen to national anthems on their first break, and they have some girl on an airplane singing "How Far I'll Go." It just so I thought I'd bring it up.
Oh, I love it so much. But yeah, it's about timing for me. It just needs to be timed differently so it does not disturb the reason we're there, poker. So there we are with that. So anything else, ASG?
Nope, that's it. That was
All right. And poor Isaac is battling issues with IT. So I'm just going to thank him for being with us this morning as well. And I see some faces in the goo, and I appreciate y'all being here. Scratcha and Capital and Jeff with two F's and Kush and Ryan Rob and Michael and Exec Deck. Turbo, hope you're well. And Wolfie, we miss you. I know you're busy with that new job. Sandy Joy, I hope you found that information on the WSOP app you were looking for yesterday. Michelle, thanks for joining. Valerie and D-Man, of course, my crew, ASG, Brad, Rick, Kieran was here earlier, and Isaac. I appreciate all of you for listening, participating, and just being part of the poker community with me and so many others. Have a great day, everybody. If you're on the felt, good luck. If not, touch some grass today. I'm sure it's going to be nice out wherever you're at in the world. So thank you, everybody. Bye.